in between there's East Side. So I mean, you have such a variety that, you know, each trustee member hopefully has got a pretty solid idea of what's going on in the district, and you can share what's going on. And the main thing is to work collaboratively, just, you know, to try to come, because we're going to have some very, very difficult decisions. There will be budget cuts, and they're going to be very difficult, and we're going to have to keep them away from the classroom, and I think that's going to be the biggest challenge of all. And we're not going to be able to sit there and say, well, this is my favorite program here, I want to protect it. We're going to have to say, look, we all have to kind of chip in and decide what's going to be best for the children.
Thank you. Joseph?
Teresa, if fortunate enough to get elected on November 4th, I think I would, once serving in December, have the immediate trust of all of the county board members for a couple of reasons. As a past employee of the county office for 13 years, as a personnel commissioner from 1999 to 2001, I received the endorsement. When we've gone head-to-head, Gary, Carol, and I've received the endorsements of the Association of County Educators, all the teachers, psychologists that work for the county office over Gary and Carol. I've received the endorsement of the South Bay AFL-CIO Labor Council over Gary and Carol. So I have a labor behind me. I think because of my 33 years of public education in this county, working as a teacher and principal in a variety of places in the county, I would have the confidence and trust of the other board members. I agree with Carol, it's a diverse board with diverse views. I think I would be a compliment to the board, a compliment to the community about the important issues, the urgent issues we must discuss about children in this county.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gary?
Well, I'd certainly like to join my board members again. Listen, I've learned in the 12 years that I've been a school board member that the team is most important. It's not necessarily our individual personal agendas, and that the teamwork is essential. It's important to build that level of trust, to be able to engage and work together over tough issues, to reach a plan, to hold each other accountable, and ultimately to focus on results as a team and take personal responsibility as a team. Very important as well that the board work cooperatively and include as a part of the team the superintendent. So there's really 8 members to that team. Listen, we went through some very difficult times last year, and a crucial decision about replacing and picking a new superintendent. And tomorrow night at our school board meeting, we'll be approving the objectives, goals and objectives for the new superintendent for this next year, some inspiring goals that he has set. This team in the last 18 months has really come together very, very well. It is diverse. In that diversity is really our strength, because we all come at things from different directions. If we can maintain that respectful relationship between each other, we'll make some great decisions along the way. Listen, relationships are also important. I've built many relationships. I'm endorsed by 3 of the County Board of Supervisors, several of the city council members here, many school board members, all of my fellow school board members. And actually, I'd like to make a bid here as well, that I would love to see that both Anna Song and Grace Ma, who are both up for re-election as well, that all of us join the board again. I think this 7-member board for the next couple of years with the new superintendent really needs to stay together and work hard on the things that we've agreed to do.
Well, we sort of lead it over to my final question, which was to give each of you an opportunity to take a minute and a half or 2 minutes to really make your pitch to the voters of the county as to why they should elect you, and perhaps, you know, think about anything that we didn't cover here tonight that you would like to continue to talk about. And also in addressing that, I wonder if you could, including in that, mention who are your primary financial backers, and we've mentioned who has endorsed you, but who is providing the financial support for your campaign. So where did we start? I guess Carol, you go.
Again?
Your turn.
No, I think you started.
I just started the last
I'm
time.
sorry.
Yeah.
Joseph.
Okay.
All right.
I'm more than happy to
Sorry
start,
about
but
Thank you, John, for the question. First, I want to thank my colleagues to my right, Carol and Gary, for the times we have been together and the discussions we've had about education. I think it's it's vitally important that we continue to have this kind of dialogue. My chief financial backer is, I've raised about $22,000, but my chief financial backer is my mom. She's given me $6,000 of the $22,000 that I've raised by phone calls and fundraisers from friends and relatives. I have a check in my pocket from CTA for $1,000. I have to deposit that to do my last mailing. But I think one of the things I'd like to leave Silicon Valley Education Foundation with, and Teresa, John, and you, is we can't wait. You know, the fact that there have been seminal studies done, like Ypsilanti, Michigan, about Head Start education, what it means if you have quality preschool, what it means later on in life. Less likelihood to be on federal assistance, less likelihood to be in prison. 4 times more cost effective to do it early than to do it later. So we've got to find the will and a way to do that, even in these tight financial times. It is about our quality of life. And the achievement gap, the dropout rate at 40% for Latinos, 43% for African Americans, is, again, I'll use the word morally criminal, the 2 words. And we must. I've never served on a school board. I've been a principal for 20 years, a teacher for 13 years, been involved in community activities on the San Jose Arena Authority Board. But this is the time in my life I have the time to spend. I'm 57 years old. I'm not going to do this again unless I get elected. I have the time now as a retired educator, teaching at Santa Clara, a little bit of work at National, training for Peace Builders, to spend my time with the superintendent and his new goals as Gary described them, to make some serious issues happen for children. I'm not running for another office. This is it. Education is what I know, and this is where I'm staying. And I hope I have the chance to serve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thanks again, Silicon Valley Education Foundation, for allowing this to be seen, and thanks for the Mercury News. My supporters for my campaign are the relationships I've built over the 12 years of school board experience that I've had in San Jose Unified School District and on the county board. It's pretty broad. It's a pretty low-key campaign. I'm not raising a lot of money. It's really about the relationships. Although I'll have to say, I've kind of welcomed the opportunity to have a couple of challengers, because it's given me the opportunity to get out and sort of reconnect. I'm out, I do this all the time, but have an opportunity to talk with people again about what your expectations are for me as a county board member, and especially given some of the times that we've gone through. So listen, it's reconfirmed for me my passion for doing this, and I absolutely want to do it. I'll return to the theme that I had at the last in the last question. Listen, we've gone through a lot of change, and change has, as you know, is sort of the big theme overall for political campaigns this year. For us, actually, I think we started change a few years ago, and we're in the midst of that change, and we've made some really good progress. Carol and Joe have both said that this is a good superintendent we have on board.